it's a dream come true to have you here, and you're one of the reasons that I began this podcast. So really happy to have you here.
Kiki, I'm honored. I'm really, truly honored. And you saying that to me, you know, it feels good. I'm not going to lie. It feels good. So after university, I went right into advertising and marketing, and I spent 15 years in that field. And I made a move over to American Express. For me, that was a real culture shock. And it was there that I realized that I am not the type of person that thrives in a corporate environment. And I went back to the world of advertising. And during that time, Gary Vaynerchuk and VaynerMedia started to come into my attention as an emerging agency. And Gary was not a household name back in 2013, 2014. People didn't know him like they do now, but I did. And luckily for me, one of my buddies worked early on with Gary, and I was able to get an introduction. I was able to interview, but I was the one who earned that job there, and I landed the job at Vayner. And Kiki, I really thought that the grass was going to be greener on the other side. I thought it was going to be the perfect job for me. But quickly into the role, I soon found out that it wasn't. And I think that's an important lesson for people to understand that not everything works out the way you imagine it. Not everything works out the way you dream it to be. And ultimately, I lost my job there. I did not do what they hired me to do. And I take a lot of responsibility for that. I take a lot of, that was on me. The time I really had to dig down deep and figure out what was next. Resilience is being strong, being able to come back from a failure, being able to push forward. And the tenacity is the fire. You know, the tenacity is that inside in that engine inside of you that keeps you going every day.
Yeah.
That pushes you harder and harder and harder. Now, I think all of us have that fire inside of us. We all have that tenacity. And there's times when it gets bigger and brighter and when we need it. And there's times when it doesn't. The hard part are for the ability for folks to find that tenacity when they need it. To be able to light that fire when it's most important.